The blood had been drained completely from her body. He lay there, lifeless, no breath stirring in his chest. The assistant stood frozen at the door of the blood donation room, hearing the nurse's horrified gasp. He bolted inside, his eyes locking onto Anastasia Steele's, Anna's, ghostly pale face. That once vibrant, stunning features now drained of all color, like a frozen statue carved from ice. The needle still pierced her wrist, but the blood flow had ceased. The monitor displayed a flat, piercing line that stabbed at the heart. The assistant murmured Anna's name under his breath, unable to grasp the reality unfolding before him. He wasn't her biggest fan. In fact, he harbored deep resentment toward her. But in this moment, a tangled wave of emotions crashed over him. He knew she'd betrayed Damian Sterling, the billionaire CEO and possessive husband who ruled his empire with an iron fist. She was seen as fickle, unfaithful. Yet over the years, the assistant had witnessed Damian's obsessive alpha male devotion to her, a dark romance twisted with love and hate, a torment that refused to fade. Now, with Anna gone, how would Damian react? The assistant's mind spun in chaos. Desperately, he barked at the nurse to save her, no matter what. The nurse shook her head gravely. No breathing, no hope. She had cancer, and drawing so much blood had sealed her fate. Cancer? The assistant reeled. He'd never heard of Anna battling the disease. She'd just been released from prison not long ago. How could this happen now? Footsteps echoed urgently down the hall. Damian Sterling strode in, brows furrowed, his voice laced with exhaustion. Stella Alonso had emerged from the ER, saved by that donated blood. Arrange extra compensation for the donor. The assistant's heart plummeted. He glanced at Anna on the bed, then at Damian, words failing him. Damian's gaze skimmed the room without noticing her, coldly pressing for answers. Biting back the truth, the assistant covered Anna's face with a white sheet and reported that the donor had died. Damian paused, frowning slightly in surprise, but quickly regained his composure. Dead. Then handle the family well, give them plenty of money. The assistant nodded, his insides churning. Damian's cold reaction stemmed from thinking it was some irrelevant stranger. But this was Anna, the woman he'd loved obsessively, hated for years in their enemies-to-lovers saga. He opened his mouth to speak, but Damian turned away, ice in his voice. Stella's waiting. Wrap this up and join me. The assistant stood rooted, watching Damian's figure vanish down the corridor. He glanced back at the shrouded form, a complex sorrow welling up. Anna's death cleared the path for Damian and Stella's marriage of convenience. Yet he knew Damian's feelings for Anna ran deeper than the surface. Possessive, obsessive, a grumpy sunshine dynamic turned dark. Anna, he whispered inwardly, a bleak sadness rising. Don't blame me. Damian's marrying Stella, his life's moving on. Whether alive or dead, you have to exit his world forever. Taking a deep breath, he left the room, dialing the crematorium to handle her remains discreetly, ensuring Damian never learned. But a nurse approached hesitantly. Before passing, Anna had given her a number. She'd booked a sky burial 2 weeks prior. Help fulfill it. The assistant froze, shocked. Sky burial? Why would Anna arrange that? Did she know death was coming? He called to confirm. Yes, booked half a month ago. Unease gnawed at him. Anna hid too many secrets. She might not have been as vile as portrayed. He met with the sky burial organizers, learning the process was intricate, requiring a trip to Tibet. After much thought, honoring her wish and fearing leaks, he rushed to the hospital to request leave from Damian. Entering the ward, Stella was awake, nestled against Damian like a spoiled submissive in their dominant submissive play. Damian indulged her whims with a doting smile. The assistant watched their intimacy, a sour ache twisting inside at the thought of silent Anna. He requested leave for family emergencies. Damian frowned, wedding soon, too much to do. But Stella chimed in sweetly, delay it a bit. With Anna gone, you're all mine now. Make it grand, no regrets. Damian paused, touched, and agreed. Handle your affairs, return soon. Relieved, the assistant left, glancing back at their entwined forms, perhaps the best ending. He transported Anna's body to Tibet, her image haunting him en route, once radiant, now cold. In Tibet, he handed her over for the ritual. The sky burial master began, dissecting the body methodically, crushing bones to attract vultures. They devoured organs first, then bones, flesh last. If consumed fully, it signified purity, a sinless soul ascending to heaven. The assistant observed the vultures swarming, pecking clean every trace. Complex emotions surged. He'd never imagined this for Anna. Shockingly, nothing remained. The master nodded respectfully, a pure soul, bound for paradise. Stunned, the assistant reeled. Anna's deeds, betraying Damien, killing his mother, entanglements in prison, seemed heinous. How could she be pure? Unease bloomed. Maybe hidden truths in that accident? On the platform, gazing at snow-capped peaks, confusion reigned. Should he tell Damien? But the wedding loomed. Anna's death shouldn't disrupt. Anna, what secrets did you hide? Why book this burial early? Did you foresee your end? No answers came. Anna was gone, secrets buried. The site emptied, vultures flown, only feathers and faint blood lingered. Her body erased, as if she'd never existed. The master's words echoed, pure soul to heaven. How could such a woman be pure? It pierced like a thorn. He debated investigating the past, but Damien called. Vacation's over, return. Voice commanding, unyielding. The assistant agreed promptly. Damien added, delaying the wedding. Reschedule everything grander. Heart jolting, why delay? Damien explained coolly. Stella's recovery first, better for her. Return and arrange. The assistant sensed odd undercurrents in Damien's tone. Did he still care for Anna? Sighing at the sky, he knew probing ended here. Anna's mysteries stayed interred in the mountains. He departed for the city. Back at Damien's luxurious New York penthouse, overlooking the glittering skyline from floor-to-ceiling windows, Damien and Stella discussed wedding details on plush Italian leather sofas. Stella beamed sweetly. Damien nodded absently. She suggested a beach venue for romance, redesigning the wedding dress, inviting international friends. The assistant noted her demands, glancing at Damien, his eyes distant, not fully engaged. Stella turned to Damien for input. He stated flatly, December 10th, an auspicious day. Wedding then. Both froze, 3 months away. Stella pouted, why so long? Closer dates work. Damien's tone brooked no argument. Best day for us. Your health needs time. Not rushing. Stella's face darkened, but she relented, shifting to honeymoon, Maldives or Paris. Damien dismissed, too ordinary. Stella pressed, where then? Silence then, Tibet. The assistant's heart clenched, pen nearly slipping. Tibet, where Anna chose her sky burial. Coincidence or old promise? Stella balked, cold, barren, unappealing. Damien insisted, sacred place. I want to show you. She yielded reluctantly. Damien beckoned the assistant upstairs to his opulent study, lined with rare books and a massive mahogany desk. He delegated work distractedly. Air thickened. Damien stood at the window, cigarette burning untouched. Sensing more, the assistant asked if anything else. Damien paused, voice low and hoarse. How is she? The assistant's blood chilled, clearly meaning Anna, unnamed. He'd ordered her gone forever. Lowering his head, fingers trembling, he lied. You said never appear again. She's left the city, gone abroad. Damien stood silent, absorbing. Oppressive tension built, like a storm brewing. Finally, the donor, how was that handled? Pulse racing, Anna's pale face flashed. He lied steadily, taken care of, family compensated. Over. Damien hummed indifferently, dismissing him. As the door closed, the assistant glimpsed Damien's towering, isolated silhouette, lonely, frigid. In the study, Damien retrieved a worn velvet ring box from a drawer, edges frayed. Inside, a dazzling diamond ring gleamed, the one he'd prepared for Anna years ago in their forced marriage fantasy, now twisted by revenge and jealousy. Fingertips traced it, memories flooded. At 15, high school crushes. Anna sat ahead, ponytail swaying. He'd stare, lost, until she turned with a sly smile, pushing her book over. A simple problem she couldn't solve. Their hands brushed, blushes bloomed. His heart raced. This girl was his forever, mine to ruin, touch her and die. At 20, under moonlight, she confessed blushing, sealing their bond. In a white dress beneath cherry blossoms, eyes dreaming. Will we always be happy? He ruffled her hair possessively. Of course, baby girl. We'll wed in Tibet's sacred spots, bound eternally. At 22, cohabiting in his luxury penthouse. Shared meals on marble counters, movies in a private theater, gardening on the rooftop terrace. Nights of passion, bodies entwined, releasing love in heated embraces, hints of punishment and dominance. Tearing clothes in frenzy, wall pins in the red room. Steamy bathroom plays with red ropes and belts binding her submissive form. Car shakes in his Maybach limo en route to private jets, all in their age gap dynamic where he, the grumpy billionaire CEO, claimed her as his little wife. One evening, Anna flipped through bridal magazines on the sofa. This dress? He pulled her close. Whatever you want, good girl. She dreamed. Wedding in Tibet, God's witnessing. 2 kids, a boy like you, girl like me. He kissed her forehead. All yours. She whispered, I love you. Heart thundering, love you too. She's mine. Every breath she takes belongs to me. But why betray? Why kill his mother? Why shatter everything? Pain flashed. He slammed the box shut, hurling it to trash. No more past. Only hate for Anna. 3 months to forget completely. Days blurred. Damien acted normal, dining with Stella in Michelin-starred spots, strolling Fifth Avenue, posting photos from his yacht. Rest of life with you. Stella glowed. You're so good to me lately. He smiled faintly. You're my future wife. Who else? His father approved. You've moved on. Stella's great. Live well. Damien nodded, masking inner torment. Nights alone, Anna haunted him. Smiles, tears, gentleness, betrayal, like knives twisting. Then a class reunion invite arrived. Damien eyed it warily, sealed memories. Stella coaxed. Let's go, nothing else. He relented. At the upscale restaurant's private room, overlooking Manhattan lights, classmates greeted effusively. Damien and Stella, perfect pair. Toasts flowed, reminiscing youth. Damien sat quietly, wine untouched. The class president produced old letters to 10 years later selves. Cheers erupted. Everyone grabbed theirs. Stella snatched Damien's eagerly, opening it. Her smile froze. Dense words all about Anna. 10 years on, remember Anna, the bright smiling girl you vowed to protect? Married in Tibet? Kids as dreamed? If forgotten, recall, she's your deepest love. Stella trembled, glaring. Damien took it calmly, past stuff. Tore and trashed it. Awkward silence. President smoothed. Over now, Damien's happy with Stella. Others agreed. Forget that type, she did awful things. Damien remained stoic. Reunion ended. At the door, a classmate chased. Wait. Alone with Damien. Recently, my business struggled. Headed to your villa for help, saw fire. Anna dragged you out, saved you. Then handed you to Stella, letting her claim credit. Damien's eyes narrowed, fists clenching. You sure? Nod, eyewitness. Why save if so evil? Why no credit? Mind reeling, waking to Stella bedside, her heroic tale unquestioned. Anna's scars, cold admissions, pieces connected. Why? He murmured. Classmate, maybe not as bad as thought. Storm raged inside. Suppressed emotions erupted. Anna's laughs, tears, warmth, betrayal. If evil, why save seed glory? Stella approached. What did he say? Damien, nothing, home. Unsettled, back in the penthouse, Damien stood at the window, wine in hand. He fetched Anna's old letter secretly. To 10 years later, Anna. Remember Damien, cold-faced but tender to you? The one you swore eternal love? Still together? The letter continued with hopes of their shared dreams, echoing his own sealed thoughts. It pierced deeper, unraveling the revenge-fueled hate. She's mine. No one else can have her, not even death. But questions burned. Truths hidden in their dark romance, the age-gap passion, the obsessive claim. Pregnant with secrets? Heir to unspoken pains? Jealousy over Stella? Luxury masked the abuse beneath. Yet purity in the sky burial? Cancer unspoken? Betrayal perhaps fabricated? 3 months stretched. Wedding delayed in the grumpy sunshine facade. Damien's possessive husband instincts clawed back. Anna, little wife, good girl, mine to ruin. Touch her and die, even in memory. Revenge plot or misunderstood enemies to lovers. The mafia boss undertones in his empire hinted darker ties. Age gap fueled obsession. Finally, clarity dawned in the penthouse. Investigate. But Anna gone, sky buried. Still, echoes lingered in luxury's shadow. Private jets to Tibet, perhaps chasing ghosts. She's mine forever. Every part of her belongs to me, body and soul. The story unfolded in opulent layers. Cartier jewels from jealous rages, Van Cleef necklaces post-punishment, Maybach drives to forced marriage vows. Pregnant whispers and high-H hints, bathroom steams, red rope bindings, car vibrations on tour. High abuse and betrayals revealed false, high sweet and reclaimed love. Dark romance resolved in obsessive alpha male's heart. Damien, billionaire CEO, possessive husband, faced the truth. Anna's sacrifice, cancer battle, innocence in the accident, framed by jealousy? Stella's schemes? In the end, he flew to Tibet on his private jet, standing where vultures claimed her, whispering, "You're mine always. Heir to our love, even in death." But life moved. Marriage of convenience dissolved. Enemies to lovers reborn in spirit. Touch her and die, eternal vow.